The man only went to the bathroom because of an upset stomach. He never expected the scheming intern to get the client to sign a $10 billion contract, and even put her own name on the contract. At first, the man thought the intern had just kindly signed on his behalf. It was not until payday, when he saw his bonus was only $2,000, that he realized something was wrong, so he went to ask the boss about it, but the boss said the contract was signed by the intern. And since the man had been running around helping, he was given $2,000 as hard work pay. The man immediately said he had worked on this order for a full month, and the intern only signed her name for him, but the boss accused him of fighting with a subordinate for credit. Hearing this, the man angrily argued that he drank with the client until he was hospitalized for this order. How could that be considered fighting for credit? The boss stood up and shouted at him, saying being able to work with such a big company was not the man's achievement. It was because the company platform was good. If he could work, then work. If not, then get out, seeing the man dare to talk back. The boss immediately went out and announced that the man was demoted to a sales rep and the intern would replace him as sales manager. The man panicked and asked the intern to explain it clearly for him. But thinking of his mother still needing expensive medical treatment, he could only swallow his anger. He then went to the finance department, planning to reimburse the $50,000 in travel expenses he spent on this order, so he could use the money to pay his mother's medical bills. But the accountant said the order was not signed by him and accused him of using business talks as an excuse to waste money and seek reimbursement. No matter how much the man explained, the accountant refused to reimburse him, saying unless the boss signed off, she would not reimburse a single dollar. With no choice, the man went to ask the boss for a signature, but he ran into a supplier he had previously blacklisted. Walking out of the boss's office, this supplier had tried to bribe the man to pass inferior goods as quality ones, but the man had refused. Now, seeing him in the company, the man immediately knew the intern had used this shady supplier's goods. He rushed to warn the boss, saying the supplier provided goods that easily molded and spoiled, and the newly signed major client would definitely terminate cooperation because of this. But the intern said the supplier she found could save the company most of the costs, unlike the expensive village suppliers the man used. And the boss chose to trust the intern, telling the man that as a sales rep, he should not worry about things beyond his role, and then tried to kick him out. The man stopped arguing further, deciding to settle the reimbursement first. He asked the boss to sign off, but the boss said he could reimburse at most $5,000. The man had spent $50,000 for the company, and they only reimbursed a small amount. Of course, he refused, but at that moment the hospital called, saying if he did not pay the medical fees, they would stop his mother's treatment. Left with no choice, the man could only compromise for now, planning to apply for arbitration later. At this time, the receptionist came in and reported that because the company did not purchase village ginseng, the villagers were protesting at the company entrance. The boss rushed out in a panic, ordering security to drive them away. But the villagers had signed a purchase contract with the company. Now the company breached it, leaving their ginseng to rot in the fields. So they refused to leave and demanded an explanation.